Hey guys, it's Kat and I'm back today for my favorites, fails, and sort of recap for May. Now, I'm filming this in June. I'm a little bit late. I felt like May went really quickly for me, and also I think because I was focusing so much on eyeshadow palettes that I really struggled to try much else. In terms of like makeup. I mainly was just doing my project pan stuff and trying different eyeshadow palettes. So I'm still doing an eyeshadow palette review. So the one that I'm wearing today is not what I'm going to be mentioning. It will be a review that's probably up, I'm going to say later this week, maybe, or early next week. I need to take a break after this though, because this will be my 6th eyeshadow palette that I've reviewed in about 4 or 5 weeks. And when I do eyeshadow palette reviews and they take me a week to create, I feel like I'm really sort of overwhelmed. So a lot of people have been asking me, can you do this review and that review? And when are you going to do this review? And are you going to try that? And at the moment, I've got eyeshadow palette fatigue. So after I do this review, I think I'm going to take a break for a few weeks until maybe July. And then I'll do my 1 month, 1 palette and see how I go, because there's other videos I want to create and I've had enough of eyeshadows right now. So yeah, there's a couple of eyeshadow palette mentions in this video, but the rest are just other things that I've been trying alongside focusing on eyeshadows. All right, let's get them out of the way. So my favorite eyeshadow palette, and probably my favorite, maybe one of my top 2 favorite products of the month for sure, is the Colored Raine Safari Raine eyeshadow palette. So I think this was the first eyeshadow palette that I reviewed in the month, and I just didn't even want to put this down. So yeah, it's definitely not what I'm wearing right now. I would love to be wearing this, but like I said, I'm testing something else out, and then I really want to just take some time to play with the stuff that I was analyzing, and now I just want to enjoy. So this is one that's definitely going to be left out for me to enjoy. I really loved the colors. I loved mixing these 2 colors together. I loved mixing those 2 colors together. I loved using these. I really want to use these together. Like, there were so many nice color combinations of this, and it's pretty much an almost perfect palette, besides the fact that there was a little bit of the mattes sort of skip a little bit on the eye, so you have to start kind of soft and build up, because some of them, especially since they're quite pigmented, they can grip on the eye a little bit, but it eventually blends nicely. So it's not a big deal, but that's, I think, the only sort of criticism I had of this palette. And I think my other recommendation was to make it bigger, so there's like more mattes and more sort of variation. But this is such a great palette. And one thing I really liked about this, not only the quality, so it applied very easily, but the colors worked really well together. So like I said in that review, if you mix this color and that color over the top, they're going to create brown. It is what it is. But if you do pair them in a look like together, so you either put one like on the outer lid, one on the inner lid, or one on the top lid, one on the bottom lid, even though they are sort of like opposite colors, they work really well together. The tones are beautiful. And I have had other palettes like the Juvia's Place Tribe palette, where I think the colors clash. They muddy together, they clash, they don't actually create a really nice looking color story. This does. This was definitely my favorite palette of the month, and I look forward, when I'm having a break from reviewing eyeshadows, to use this. I have actually placed an order and received the order since using this for some other palettes from Colored Raine. So I'm actually thinking of maybe down the track, like it might be more like August, when I've had a bit of a refresher from eyeshadow palettes, I might do a Colored Raine month. So instead of a 1 month, 1 palette, I might do like a 1 month, 1 brand, and just start working through some of the palettes and letting you know what I think about them. Because now I've got all the mini palettes and whatnot, and I've got the Queen of Hearts palette. So it's, you know, I can't do reviews on every single one of them, but if I use them for a month and show you photos and recap, that's what I think I might be doing, because this has really inspired me. I think this was actually the first palette I reviewed in May, and I really enjoyed it, and to this very day I enjoy it. So this is the Viseart, it's upside down, Liaison palette, which is their sort of like cool toned purpley palette. And I can tell you, okay, besides the fact that Like I said in that video, these two seem quite similar and I don't really wear silvers too often. I can tell you that when I'm not reviewing eyeshadows, I've generally been reaching for this palette. So on days where I am, the weekend, usually I don't like to film on the weekend. So when I can help it anyway. So usually if I'm going out to see friends, I will grab, that all over the lid. I'll blend it out with some of these mauves. I really, really like this sort of palette. I even paired this with my Project Pan NARS Kalahari Duo. So this has been one that I have been choosing to reach for on days where I'm not analyzing eyeshadows. So it's a beautiful mix of sort of purple tone mauves that in this palette, it looks quite nude, but when you actually do apply them to the eyes, they do have a distinct purple tone to them, which is actually very flattering and beautiful. These are probably some of my favorite sort of shades in this palette. Then you have some beautiful shimmery shades that they look very sort of like quite intense, but if you just put them on as a wash of color, they look like sparkly and kind of light and delicate. So you can either pack them on over glitter glue and make them really bold, but I prefer to just have a wash. So it's just like a little sparkly beautifulness. And then you have a little bit more color injection. So you have a pastel sort of like lilac purple, which is beautiful. I love this color. You have more of a darker shimmery purple and like a navy matte, which is also gorgeous. So this is sort of the palette that I have been, since it's cold and it's winter now, this is a really beautiful palette. It performs really well. And it's my favorite cool tone palette, I would say. Definitely my favorite purple palette. I'd probably say my favorite cool tone palette. So if you like this color story, you probably won't be disappointed by this. It's very beautiful. And I did review that as well. So they'll both be, I'll list all the products that I talk about today. And then if I've got any reviews, I'll link them below. But my least favorite palette, I think, of the month was the Riviera by Anastasia Beverly Hills. A few people have asked if I'm going to buy the Alyssa Edwards one. I haven't bought it yet, but I am thinking of doing it. The color story isn't my fave, but I really like Alyssa Edwards and I do generally like Anastasia Beverly Hills palettes. This one I didn't love so much. The colors are kind of fun and my favorite shades were these two. They performed so well and I can definitely see myself reaching for this palette and then that pop of purple because that purple is phenomenal. I just didn't like the shimmers. I thought they sort of disappeared on the eye a little bit. So you look at it and you go, oh, color, there's pink and there's like aqua and there's like blue and yellow and they sort of just disappear on the eye. And then if you do mix them with these sort of more bold colors, they totally disappear. And something that's a huge pet peeve of mine with eyeshadow palettes these days is when they give you heaps of cool toned eyeshadows and only warm toned eyeshadows to complete the look, because I feel like that limits what you can do with them. And once again, you mix a blue with a coral, it neutralizes the look. It ends up looking a little bit nude and a little bit muddy. So I didn't love the layout of this. There were some like single shades that I really like. I like this cool tone bronze. I like this pink. I like this purple. I even like the teal. I just found that there was no like real good color to showcase the teal, if you know what I mean. So if I go for this teal, or I go for this blue, or I go for this other sort of, it's almost like a blue with a goldy sort of shift to it. There's just not much here that can really help complete the look. So even though the quality of this was fine, I didn't like using it. It actually, I sort of begrudged having to review it. I was like, oh, I've got to do my makeup again. I really don't want to. Whereas when I was using these palettes, I was like, oh my God, I can't wait to take my makeup off. So tomorrow I can get up and I can put these on because they're fun. This one, I was like, nah. Yeah, so I'm not in love with this. And I think it had great potential. Like if they just sort of mirrored some of the top colors into mattes. So like a beautiful aqua matte, a beautiful yellow matte, instead of all these sort of same coral shades, like corally pink, coral, light coral. Like you don't need them all. So I thought this had heaps of potential. It just let me down. So I would call that a fail. All right, two favorites that are just products I've been using a lot because they're in my project pan, but a lot of people ask whenever I use them, what am I wearing on my lips? And it's these. So I've got the Colourpop Lippie stick. I hear this is a discontinued shade, which is really sad because it's a great shade. It's in Hotline. It's the color that I'm wearing. It's like a sort of, I don't know, like a peachy brown nude. It's very, very pretty. It is a matte X formula, but it doesn't feel too matte, but I do tend to use this lip gloss, which is hopefully nearly empty, over the top. This is in Fairy Floss. This is way too light for me, so I have to pair the two, but look. How satisfying is that when the lip gloss is nearly finished? Oh, so good. So I just run a little bit on the inner part where it can look a little bit, that's where it can show the like chunkiness of a matte. And I just do that. And that's a lip color that I've been using. And I really like this combo, which is great because when you're doing a project pan, you want to like the products you're using if you're going to try to use them most days. But I have had a lot of like people asking what lip colors I'm wearing, and it's generally these. If it's a nude, it's these. If it's more glossy, it's because I've got more gloss on. If it's more matte, it's because I got more matte on. If it's a little bit less pigmented, it's because I put it on way earlier and it's worn down a bit. But yeah, I really like the combination of those. Oh, I've got to talk about this guy. And this is what I was talking about when I said, okay, the colored Raine is probably one of my top 2 favorites this month. This is my other favorite. And even though I really love Viseart and I feel like that should be my second favorite, I really love this. This is probably one of my favorite all-time Pixi products. It's a Hydrating Milky Mist. I've added this to my project pan and I've used this much in the last couple of weeks because I am obsessed with it. It is so nice. So it's got hyaluronic acid and black oat. You guys don't need to fight behind me. It's awkward. Anyway, I adore this. It's got a really nice mister and it just really hydrates your skin so well. I will use this even when I'm not wearing makeup. I'll use it on days where I just want to feel like my skin is a little bit like more hydrated because it's winter now, it's cold, my skin feels a little bit more dry. I have the heater on and it just feels like I'm getting like dry and don't fight. Don't fight, my son. Don't fight. Don't fight. So yeah, I just love this over my makeup to really help rehydrate it and make it look less powdery. I've tried most of the sprays, like the finishing sprays from Pixi. This is my favorite one and I'm using it. I'm dropping things. I'm using this like there's no tomorrow because I really adore it. So if you want a hydrating spray and you're interested in trying Pixi and you're like, which one do I go for? This is my pick, and even on my oily skin, it works really well. Speaking of sprays, the next spray I want to focus on for my project pan is actually one of my MAC Fix Plus sprays. Now, I love MAC Fix Plus. So it works really well at hydrating your makeup. I love the scent of it. I love the feel of it. I love it. I have a matte one, which I don't love as much. The original is my go-to. And I've got the pink. This is the Pinklite one. Now, I'm in the process of doing something strange, but I wanted to show it to you because it's actually working. So if you've got this and you don't actually like the pink shimmer in it, so what this is essentially just Fix Plus, but they've put a really fine shimmer in it. Yes, I'm holding it upside down. You'll understand why. And the fine shimmer is great. Like it's fine in concept, but I feel like it just looks like you got little pink sort of flecks, or if you've got the gold one, little gold flecks on your face, which doesn't look as flattering. Because this is not a micro mister, it doesn't dispense it so evenly that it looks like you've just got a glow. You sort of, if you catch the light, you can see little bits where there's pink and there's no pink. So what I'm currently trying to do is remove the pink and just use it as like a Fix Plus. Now, I'm not gonna remove all the pink. I know that's impossible, but what I've been doing, and you can even do this throughout a day because this settles pretty quickly, you store it upside down, like I've got here. There's a lot of pink down around the rim, but if you turn it upside down so you can see the pink around the rim, when you use this, normally you have to shake it to get the, pink sort of mixed in the product. But I take it out like this, and then around the top, I don't know if you can see, so you've got that product gathered around, like chunked around the tube, and all I do is I remove it. So I pull it out with like a spatula or a knife or something. So you just take it out. It's hard to do while I'm on camera. So yeah, I just remove it like that, put it in a tissue or a paper towel or something, and I just repeat it and throw the paper towel in the bin. So then I just put the lid back on, and you can see you shake it up again and there is still shimmer in there, and then I do it again. So I think that's the third time I've done that, and every time I do it, I feel like the product gets better. Like I said, if you just want to do it over like an hour or two, you can just let it sit, do it, let it sit, do it again, let it sit, do it again. But I sort of just sit this, and then whenever I go to reach for this, I'll take the product out, and it's becoming more and more usable. So I really do love MAC Fix Plus. I don't mind a bit of shimmer in there, but I think the amount of shimmer they put in ended up looking kind of, yeah, dotty on the face. And I think this is a beautiful product. When I use it, I'm like, oh my God, Fix Plus, I love you. I just don't like the amount of shimmer. If there's much less shimmer, I would totally be down for it. So I'm making my own. I'm customizing my own. And let's use it. Oh, I do love Fix Plus. They just need to put it in a micro mister. That's what they need to do. MAC, put it in a micro mister, and it would be the best product ever. So yeah, even though this is my favorite of the month, I was just wanted to show you that little thing that I've been doing, because if you do have this product and you're like, I don't really like it, that's how you can definitely start tweaking it and removing some of the shimmer. I reckon after maybe the 5th time of scraping the stuff out, it won't be as obnoxious. And then I might target it as my next Project Pan product, because it's a beautiful product. It's just too much damn shimmer. Last makeup favorite before I get on to other stuff, and there is other stuff. I want to talk about a product that is a cult product, and I've only recently purchased it. I purchased this, I think it was mid-May, and then we destroyed it on the makeup breakup, and then I've been using it and I've been really enjoying it. So it is by Chanel, and it's the Bronze Universal Bronzing Makeup Base. This, if you've been watching YouTube for the longest time or reading blogs, this was the most popular like bronzing product probably in, I'm going to say like 2013, 2012, 2014. A while ago, 5-6 years ago, everyone had this. Now mine looks a little bit, you know, dinged up because we did destroy it and then put it back in the tub. Works really well on my skin tone, which is probably like NC20. So I'm not, a lot of people think that based on the lighting, which is natural lighting, I'm like porcelain. I'm not. I'm more like beige. I'm beige. And this works really well on me. It would probably work well on fairer people, slightly deeper people, but if you've got a tan, it's not going to be the best for you. But it's a beautiful cream product because it's like a cream to powder product. The tone is a little bit warm. So that just feels like powder now. The tone is a little bit warm, but it works really well to sort of bronzer. So I use this, I've talked about this before, I don't really contour, I just sort of sweep around the perimeter of my face just to add a bit more dimension, because I tend to use higher coverage foundations that make you look like a mask. So this adds a bit of dimension. This is a beautiful product. I love the scent of it. It is perfumed. If you don't like the scent of it, or you don't like scented products, don't use this. I love the scent. It adds to the experience, in my opinion. It's like, I don't know, it smells like pear juice or something. There's something about it that I just really love. I really like the product. It's best if I apply it before I powder, but at the same time, I can easily apply this over powdered makeup, like set matte powdered makeup, and it doesn't lift too much. It might lift a tiny bit, but nothing that actually looks bad. So this is a cult product. I've been wanting to try it for 5 or 6 years. I finally tried it. I do really like it. And I also have the Huda Beauty version that they recently brought out. This is the Tantour. So it's the contour and bronzer cream. This is in the shade Fair. So this is the lightest one. This is what we compared it to on the makeup breakup. This one doesn't look as nice. This is definitely more of like a cream product rather than a cream to powder product. If you do want to see me do a comparison between these two, I might do it because I'm really sort of curious to do one on one side and one on the other side. But just on first impressions, and I have used this only once, this is a lot more pigmented. It's a lot creamier. So it sort of reminds me of using even like a contour stick, sort of that in a tub. And it's, a lot more pigmented, a little bit more cool tone because it is supposed to be more contour-ish. And yeah, it's a lot creamier. It's not a cream to powder finish. So I still prefer this one, but I have used this one only once or twice, and it's more of that intense contouring. But if you want to see a comparison, I'm happy to do it. But this, I surprisingly really enjoy. All right, now for other products. So I'm going to talk about 2 candles, and you're going to be like, Kat, you haven't even burnt these candles. And you're correct, I have not. I bought these the other day, and there's a 3rd one coming out soon. It should be out already by this video's up. I think it's a cotton candy one, and oh my God, I'm going to buy that. But Glasshouse last year brought out Grandma's Punch, and then this year in May, they brought out the sort of 2nd one, which is Bubblegum Burst, which is, look, I originally thought this is going to be gross because I don't like bubblegum, but it's not bubblegum. It's watermelon lemonade scented, and it kind of smells like watermelon bubblegum. It's amazing. And they're bringing out a cotton candy one, which I think is vanilla-ish. So this one is pomegranate and strawberries, which is Grandma's Punch. Then we have this one. I love this one. I want to buy a backup. I also really like this one. So I haven't actually burnt these, but what I tend to do, I put them in the boxes to show you, but what I tend to do, these are them, look at them. Oh my God, it smells so good. So this smells like, it's definitely more of a fruity candy scent. It's really like, it's so beautiful. But what I need to do is I just open it and I just leave it for a bit. And then it makes my whole house smell nice. That's how strong these candles are. So I haven't even need to burn them yet. But I do have one up there, so that's why I haven't actually burnt it yet. But this one is my favorite. Holy bejesus. Oh my God, I can smell it already. And oh my God. So it's a pink one. And so it is definitely a bubblegum scent, but it's not your traditional bubblegum, like original bubblegum. It is watermelon bubblegum, like watermelon Hubba Bubba, and it just makes me happy. Oh, this is divine. I want a 2nd one, and I'm looking forward to getting the 3rd one, which is, I think, in from memory, like a blue jar that matches. So we've got like a teal, we've got a pink. I think it's more of a like royal blue packaging from memory. I'm really keen. So these are awesome. If you like sweet scents, and you like something like I think if you like the Glasshouse Pink Lemonade, you'll really like these. That's actually what I have up there. That's a pink lemonade one. Even though I haven't actually used these are definitely some favorites of the month for sure. All right, now we're delving into some favorites and just some updates on products that I've been using since the Priceline haul. So I think it was late April, I went to the Priceline Beauty Prescription Live in Sydney, and I had a haul of stuff that was coming to Priceline, and I've been slowly working through some of it. So I've got some updates. Some things I love and they're actually favorites, and other things I just wanted to tell you how I'm going with them. First one that I love, oh my God, and I had to take this out of my shower so it's looking a bit grubby, is the Bondi Sands. This is the Coconut Sea Salt Body Scrub. Now, I don't like the scent of coconut. It makes me feel sick, makes me feel nauseous. But this one is one that I can forgive. Now, this reminds me of my youth. My grandparents used to go to the market and buy these hard coconut lollies that had this like crunchy stuff on the inside, and they were delicious, and this is what it smells like. I'm going to see if I can try to find an image of those lollies. I probably won't be able to, but if you know what those lollies are, or you have an idea of what I'm talking about, you know exactly what this smells like. So it's definitely coconut. And for me, it's on the verge of, if it smelt any more like coconut, it would make me feel unwell, but it's the right blend of vanilla, sweetness, and coconut. It's like a perfect blend. If it was more coconut, I wouldn't like it. But almost smells like toasted coconut as well. So it's not that obnoxious coconut, like the artificial coconut. It smells like toasted coconut. Yeah, it smells almost nutty, which is beautiful. So this is just a salt and I think sugar scrub. And it's designed, I think, to prep your body for like self-tanning, and a lot of these sort of scrubs have oils in them that leave you feeling really like oily, and it's not good for self-tanning. Bondi Sands is a tanning brand, so this is designed to not leave you feeling greasy, and I really dig this. I think this is beautiful. If I don't really like this form of body scrubs because I find them really messy, and you put your hand in, you're like, oh, I got to shake off water and make sure I'm not getting too much water in the bag. So I'm not the biggest fan of this form, but I really like this product. It works well, it feels nice, smells nice, it gives a good experience. You feel like soft but not oily. If I'm too oily, I get like breakouts on my shoulders and back and chest, so I don't like oily stuff on my body. So this is a nice scrub. If you're in Australia, you see it on sale in Priceline or something like that, or you really love coconut or body scrubs, this is one I would check out. Next thing that I love so much, and this guy down here loves it too. This is the Oral-B toothpaste. Yes, I'm talking about a toothpaste. This is the 3D White Whitening Therapy Enamel Care. I'm going to turn that down because you can't see what I'm talking about. This toothpaste, I love it. It's so good. It's very, very fresh. It leaves your, it feels like your teeth feel super clean, which is great. So it's got a little bit of that sort of gritty feel that really feels like it cleans your teeth, but at the same time it leaves your breath really fresh. And like sometimes you use toothpaste and they're a bit minty, but they also are a little bit sweet. They leave your breath sort of just smelling like, oh yeah, you've brushed your teeth, but yeah, all right, yeah, you've brushed your teeth, but it's not super fresh. This is like you've brushed your teeth and then you've used like Listerine or something. It keeps your like breath really fresh. I really like it, and my cat here loves it too. And what I mean by that is Boogie likes to sit with me in the bathroom when I'm like brushing my teeth and doing my skincare and stuff. He likes to sit and hang out with me before I feed him. And when he likes a toothpaste, which doesn't like all toothpaste, he's very picky with his toothpaste. He likes to just smell the toothpaste and go like this, like he just loves it. So he just sits there and I'll like make him smell it or make him smell my toothbrush, and he's just like, he loves it. So this is one that he loves. So he's been a good friend of mine in the bathroom recently. Sometimes he'll abandon me early, but with his toothpaste, he sticks by me until the very end. He loves it. So when I did my Priceline haul, I talked about getting a new Ethique sort of bar conditioner. Now it is this guy here. So it's beautiful. I think it's called the Guardian, and it smells like, I don't know, it smells like buttery. It smells like lime oil and maybe cocoa butter. It smells like something like that. I don't know what it's definitely lime. So this is the hair conditioner in a bar form. And I mentioned that I didn't want to use it yet because I don't have a shelf or something in my shower for it. And when I put anything in my shower like this, just because I've got a lot of water that flows in my shower where I keep things dissolve, like soap bars dissolve, shower jellies dissolve, everything dissolves really quickly, and I don't want to do that. So this is what I was talking about. I also said I still had the Pinkalicious shampoo bar from the year before that I still hadn't used, and this smells like, it smells a little bit musky, vanilla. It's quite nice. So I had those two, and Ethique actually saw that video and they said, do you want me to send you this container? And I said, oh, that is very kind of you. That would be lovely. And so they sent me this container, which is great. It's a little bit grubby at the moment because it's been in my shower. So it's got little slats down the bottom so the bars can dry and water it doesn't sit in there. But it's heavily protected from, you know, the water, which is great. So it fits easily like 2 shampoo bars or a shampoo and conditioner bar. And I've been using these and I really do like these. They're a different experience, so I wanted to sort of update you on what I think about them. I think the effect of them is really nice. The shampoo bar doesn't lather heaps. I've tried some from Lush. They lather a lot more, so if you're familiar with that formula, this doesn't lather as much. You put it in and it lathers a little bit, but you just have to sort of have faith that it's washing your hair. Rinse it out. It feels a little bit tangly. You put in the conditioning bar, which you only need to use a small amount of. Once again, it doesn't feel like it heavily coats your hair, but as long as you leave it in for a little bit, you feel that your hair is detangling. So I tend to rub it into the ends. So I'll have my hair at the side and I'll rub it in and I'll sort of massage it in. I'll leave it for a bit. And then when I go back, I can feel that like it's detangled and it feels really nice. Then I go and I rinse my hair and my hair feels really soft and really clean and really nice. So I've used shampoo bars on and off for years and years and years. So I'm sort of familiar with how they work. But I was really surprised at how well the conditioning bar works as well. And I was under the impression it was going to just like be like a mushy bar that's going to disintegrate. It's not. It's quite a firm bar. So I'm liking these. I like the effect of them. I think there's a little bit of a learning curve with them. You don't have the same like lathering and sort of smoothing effect that you have with a traditional shampoo and conditioner. So the experience is different, but the effect is really, really nice. So I'll continue to use these. I did actually, like I can put this just, you know, in my shower, fine. It will keep it nice and water free, but I did buy this little tray. I've also got a body bar in there that I'll talk about, but I bought this tray. It's just a suction sort of this tray from Daiso, and I stick this to the opposite side of my shower quite high where there's no water flow. So I just store this on there and it works extra well. So that's what I tend to do. When they did send me that case, they also sent me a body bar, and I love this thing. This is fantastic. This is like a favorite. So even though I consider the hair products as favorites, because I do really like the effect of them and I've been impressed by them, like I said, the experience isn't as like foaming as a Lush one, but I really like the effect. So even though I do really like those, I like this bar probably even more. So this is the Charcoal Kaolin and Oatmeal Body Wash bar. I love this because it's got oatmeal in it. It's a little bit exfoliating and it feels really, really good. So there's not enough like density of stuff that it's like over exfoliating, but these are pretty coarse and you get a really good body scrub with them. So if you're really gentle, of course, you can get less scrub. I love this. This body bar, I love. So even though I like the hair products, this is my favorite that I've tried. It's, yeah, when you first get it, it just looks black. But as you start to wear away the soap, you start to see the little specks in there. So those are the products that I've been loving from the Priceline haul. Now I want to talk about products that I just want to give you updates on that I've tried, and you know, I'll just give you my opinion of them. First one is this. So this is the Natural Family Co. Activated Charcoal Natural Whitening Toothpaste. So it's got 70% organic ingredients. So this is a black toothpaste, which is very interesting. The lid is super firm to open, which is kind of annoying. It's a true black toothpaste. It's an interesting experience brushing your teeth. Look, it's very firm. So besides the lid that drives me bananas, this was actually not a bad product. I just don't use it as much as the Oral-B one because, and I have heard people warn this, and I do think it's I start to see the effects. So if I use this twice a day or even once a day, I find it makes my teeth a little bit more sensitive, and I do deal with sensitive teeth, so I don't like that. So I use this more like maybe once a week or something. So even though it's not a bad charcoal toothpaste, and this brand is really like good with it, like the ethics. It's vegan, it's cruelty free, it's this and that. It's made in Australia, and I really like their range and what they stand for. This is a little bit harsh for me, but if you want to try a charcoal toothpaste, this is an interesting one. And the last thing I want to mention is a bit of a fail. I did see Hailey mention this in her monthly recaps. She put hers up this morning. I watched it this morning, and she mentioned this to me last week or the week before, and she told me to try it. So this is the MineTan Rose Ultra Hydrating Rose Color Base Illuminating Facial Mist. So you're supposed to use this daily to build up or maintain your existing self-tan. Spray face and décolletage evenly, keeping nozzle at least 15 centimeters or 6 inches away from the skin. Allow a few minutes to dry before applying makeup or skincare. Now, Hailey asked me to try this. She said that she tried it and it made it look really dirty. Also, it looks like you don't get much product in there, which is weird that they've done a clear bottle when I've only used this, I think, twice, and this is, I barely used any. But so if you just spray this on your face, it looks patchy. This is not a micro mister. It doesn't like apply evenly. It makes you look spotty. I actually applied it on my legs, just spraying it to see how even it is, and it looked horrible. It looked like someone threw dirt at me. So what I did on my face when I tried this was I sprayed it and then straight away went in with my skincare to mix it all in, and it worked fine. But like Hailey said, what's the point of having it in a spray bottle if you're supposed to mix it in with your hands or blend it in with your hands? So this was a bit of a fail product. If you do want a self-tanner that looks okay, I wouldn't use this too often because it was a little bit orange looking, but if you just apply it once and you mix it in with your skincare, I think it looks fine, but as a sprayer, it's not great. So yeah, I'm gonna leave. I'm going to tidy up, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.